Belt to ass. Whoa, it's playing again. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play that again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your postgame show. Hi. The mask is on. Why is it on? Because we have to. Yes, Luchador is on. Why am I suddenly seeing, like, check marks across all my, I must have hit something on my keyboard while I was, like, fumbling around, because now I'm seeing, like, check marks on all of my... Anyway, hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the postgame show. I still have this camera in a weird position. I'm trying to, like, find the best nominal angle for it. I think that works, actually. Perfect. A little tilted. Let me try this. Hello, everyone. Chris, much love. Thank you, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome into the postgame show. I'm getting a recorder up. This is the Pride of Detroit postgame show. If you're new to us, we do these after big games like this. And no bigger game in the history of the Detroit Lions than what happened on Sunday Night Football on the final game of the season. 2 14-2 teams for the first time in NFL history for the number one seed and for a division crown, all on the line. The stakes could not be higher. We talked about this on PODcast nonstop, and we said this is the biggest game, and this is the kind of stuff you live for. If you're a football fan and a football player and a coach and everyone, this is what you live for. You live for these big moments like this. You live for the biggest stakes out there. And the Lions didn't want to hear about how they'd have to go on the road if they dropped to the 5 seed at all. And you know what? It turned out it didn't matter because the Lions put the belt to the ass of the Vikings on this one. There's probably a deeper analysis to be done, and we will do it on PODcast, but right now, after a very shaky-looking first half and some Jared Goff and a couple of Jared Goff turnovers, there was really no stopping the Lions' offense once it found its rhythm, and the defense paired up so well to shut down the Minnesota Vikings, who had looked unstoppable on offense. This was a game where everyone said, and I'm going to invoke some gambling right now, although I don't like to, pound the over on this game. I believe this over was something like 55 or something, 40 points total in this game. And if you were watching the halftime score, you knew it wasn't going to hit that. But what I don't think anyone anticipated at halftime, as we were sitting in for a defensive slog as Jared Goff was turning the ball over and as Minnesota was failing to getting into the red zone but failing to put any points on the board, and Sam Darnold was looking like he was seeing ghosts once again, was that Jahmyr Gibbs would suddenly belt out 4 touchdowns in this game behind a Lions offense that found its groove, found its rhythm, and a lot of great moments between catching them off sides, in a neutral zone infraction late in the game, between just bouncing back from mental mistakes all night long from in a few places from Jared Goff, some luck, some tough penalties, some tough use of delay of game in this one. But you know what? The real stars of this show tonight was the Lions defense. Battered, bruised, and unfortunately probably taking a couple more hits through this game that will not sit well. But the Lions have at least a week off now to try to take stock of that. But they did welcome back Alex Anzalone, and it was a very good... I thought this was the best that, the linebackers have played in quite a while with the direction of Anzalone. This is a defense that blitzed the hell out of Sam Darnold all night, and it worked. Damn, it worked. It worked in a way that I haven't seen it work in quite a while. And part of that might just be the Lions match up that well against the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if that's potable to any other game, especially as you look into the playoffs. But what I will say is you got it where you needed it most. This was a team in the Minnesota Vikings that everyone could not stop talking about. The Vikings were impressive. They were impressive. They had the best receiver in football. And by the way, shout out to Amik Robertson locking down Justin Jefferson almost all night long. You heard it on the broadcast if you watched this game. A lot of talk about how they've known each other and played each other in high school as they just dealt with it over and over. But it was impressive. Damn impressive, top to bottom. And the Lions, I don't think anyone thought they'd have a 22-point win. You send the Minnesota Vikings on the road to play Los Angeles Rams. You get a little time to try to sit down and try to figure out who you are, get some players back. I believe before this game, Dan Campbell was already kind of hinting that David Montgomery is a sooner rather than later addition. But in the meantime, you've got Jahmyr Gibbs playing the way you are. I didn't think this was a great night from the offensive line. I didn't think it was a great night from several other players, but you still got a night where Jameson Williams hit 1,000 yards on the season. Another 1,000 yards you got Jahmyr Gibbs with 4 touchdowns, just racking up the touchdown record. What else do you want from these Lions at this point? What else do you want? And now for the entire playoffs, as long as they go, the NFC runs through Detroit. That is the prize. And if there was ever an atmosphere in football that deserves it, I'm going to quote Dan Graziano of ESPN, who put out a great post here on social media. The Ford Field experience is wild. One break, they introduce Calvin Johnson. The next, Barry Sanders. They play an Eminem song and show Eminem in a sweet, deafening reactions. They play Circle of Life. Everyone holds up their babies over their heads. They have the cringiest post-TD song in the league, which is really saying something. Dan, I'll let you slide on that one, but don't disrespect Theo Gridiron spite like that. I'm sold. I don't see how anyone comes and wins in here. And that might just be a little bit of me with the adrenaline going through my veins. But you really sold it pretty well. I was asked all weekend on national radio where I was doing work about, hey, what do you think about the Vikings buying up a bunch of tickets, millions of dollars to buy tickets? I love it. The Vikings fans want to make sure they show up. I didn't see the Vikings fans out there at all. Did you? Do you think they made a difference in the game? Maybe there were a few, but I saw a lot of them were turning around and reselling those tickets, and that's exactly what it looked like. Ford Field won over all of that. The fans won over all of that. The Lions won over all of that, over a team in the Minnesota Vikings that had all the momentum and all the energy coming from it. Everyone looked at the Lions and even at their record was like, man, I don't know what I can do about this defense. Well, that defense kept the Minnesota Vikings out of the end zone for 60 minutes. No touchdowns in this game. None. Justin Jefferson, box score, 3 receptions on 54 yards. Jalen Naylor, 3 receptions, 53 yards. Jordan Addison, no yards, 1 reception. That's the damage this team did. I don't know if that's potable to the next game. They're going to have to really see on the Lions injuries once again. I believe there were a couple other significant injury in this game. I will wait to see on some of the Terrion Arnold really leaving the game and on a cart, which would be a huge loss for the Detroit Lions, as I thought the rookie has finally been playing some of his best football of the year. But with Amik Robertson doing what he did out there, Kindle Vildor flashing a little bit, you did everything you needed to beat the Vikings, beat them handily. And as I said on Twitter, and X, and on Blue Sky, and I will keep saying it, belt to ass. Belt to ass on these Vikings. Belt to ass. Where's the camera? The camera's right here. I should try speaking directly into the camera a little bit. This is the best Lions team in my lifetime. In anyone's lifetime. The Lions have never had 15 wins. And even with all the injuries, they've never made an excuse for any of those injuries. They step up, and it's the next man. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is a very quick post-game podcast, so I'm going to leave it there. We have a lot of people in chat who want to talk about this game. Pride of Detroit PODcast coming to you on Monday, where we will have a complete breakdown of all of this. And I will finally say this. It wasn't the greatest game from Jared Goff with some of the turnovers. You still averaged over 7 yards passing in this game. And this is 4 wins for Jared Goff over the Brian Flores defense. The one that screws up every other quarterback out there. And it may not be super effective in the first half. Andrew Van Ginkel nearly came up with a pick 6 in this game. But once he dropped that man, it took off and it didn't stop. And a lot of it was Jahmyr Gibbs, but there was also a lot of St. Brown and a lot of Laporta. Beautiful. Now the Lions get to rest easy a little bit. Watch some other teams battle it out. Get some injuries back. I don't know if it's going to be Terry and Arnold coming back or what will happen with Kevin Zeitler. I think Zeitler's is just might not be as serious, but I don't want to speculate on any injuries right now because that's just not how I like to do things. We have to wait and see. But I do know that the health of the Lions is, for the most part, trending in a better direction than it's been trending the last few weeks, and that's beautiful. If this team is clicking at the right time, it's all about when you click at the right time when it comes to the playoffs. It's all about when you click at the right time. And it looked like the Lions, there was a lot of talk about whether or not they had peaked too early. What does a game like tonight tell you about peaking? I don't think they've peaked at all. I don't. You get rest. You get rest. You got to make sure it doesn't become rust. But there's almost always been over a 75% rate of a 1 seed in the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions are going to have a really tough road in spite of home field, in spite of the 1 seed. The NFC is hyper competitive this year. Of this, I believe more than anything. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But for tonight, celebrate because now the Detroit Lions are back-to-back NFC division champions. They've put up 15 wins, something they've never done in their history. And that all has to go to Dan Campbell. When we start talking about some of the best coaches in the league, you have to start talking about Dan Campbell. You have to start talking about not just schematics, but how guys respond to their coach. How you get them to buy in, how you get professionals to buy in, to believe in not just to believe in themselves. They believe in themselves. They are playing football their entire life. But I've never seen a team play this well together with each other, to be of one mind, to work the way they do. There were a lot of people who are skeptical about the rah-rah of Dan Campbell. I don't see it as rah-rah. I see it as understanding what he has in all of his men and putting them in the positions where they're best and getting them to play together at a rate that makes other teams jealous. This is who the Lions are now. Celebrate that. Damn, celebrate that. And then on to the playoffs. This will be it for the post-game podcast portion. Post-game stream continues. Oh my God, I'm screwing up. Post-game stream continues on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you, everyone. See you Starside. Okay, save that out. We'll try to get some sound from Dan Campbell here soon. Hello, chat. Sorry, let me save this out real quick, and then I'll pull up chat. Postgame 25:01:05. Happy New Year. Happy frickin' New Year. I have some messages I have to get. Oh, right. I have to turn off slow mode on our Discord. Let me take care of that. Seeing if anyone wants to join on the post-game stream, but everyone's busy except for me. Hello, chat. Let me get to some alerts. If you guys have some questions and shit, sorry, I don't mean to curse. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. Oh my God. Let me see here. Oh my God. Where were we? Jack Churchill UO. 5 months. Let's fucking go. Chocobo Brisket Bowl. I love that name. 51 months. Huge win. We need that bye, baby. MMO 11-23-7. 7 months. 1 seed MFers. Here we go. Silver Rush 24. 20 months total. The infirmary is at capacity. LFG anyway. I think Zeitler is not that... hopefully not as bad for Zeitler. Hopefully a little rest and it's just a high ankle sprain or something. We'll see. Terry and Arnold might be a little... That one's tough. Let's see here. Mustachio Green, 2 months with Prime subscription. These are all Twitch alerts, by the way. RGA 418, 15 bits. Go Lions. Go Loins. Sorry, Go Loins. Listen, man, Go Loins is undefeated. We got our new bit. Go Loins. Joshua Mercer, 100 bits. We're the effing greatest. Thank you, subscription on YouTube from Den City 313, Carter GP0, using his Prime for 22 months. Amik Robertson, probably the best game I've seen out of him all year. All damn year. You want to talk about a man who wanted to lock down Justin Jefferson. Damn. Sweaty Doofus, 28 months. Rest up, everyone. So what about this about them playing in the 49ers game, huh? Where are all the people hand-wringing now about the 49ers game, playing all the guys in the meaningless game? Where is that? Where is that? Sellering Scott, 12 months. Best defensive performance I can remember. Your boy Maroc, 32 months. Wizard, 70. 46 months. The Loins are going to the Super Bowl. Book it, baby. Madrigal's 21-12, 100 bits. Can we give some love to Craig Reynolds, too? Thought he had a great game. Craig was fantastic. Craig stepped up in a big way. 8 carries, 39 yards, 4.9 a carry. They need to do what they need to do. Woodchuck Hunter, 100 bits. Cheer. I never want to hear fire AG again. I think AG's getting a job, man. I think he is. Now, again, I'm not ready to crown them on this, that this is a, going to be the defense moving forward, especially with all the injuries, but I did bank a lot on Alex Anzalone being one of the factors to make this defense play better again. The other factor, unfortunately, is Aleem McNeil, and you're just not going to have him back. But look, man, they were getting killed over the middle all of the 49ers game. Anzalone just destroyed TJ Hawkinson. He was getting really physical with TJ. It did draw some penalties, but Anzalone, every time I looked at him, he was draped all over Hawkinson. Onzarike did come back into the game, Lord Goofa. He just, I did see him come back. So I think he should be all right. Sorry, my nose is itching like hell. TA will be okay. Might be slow, but he'll... I don't know. We will see. I don't want anyone, trying to figure out how hurt he is. It's not... Again, don't play internet doctor. We don't know. We just don't. It's not how it works. I appreciate everyone not playing internet doctor on this because I don't like it. It's... Sorry, I'm catching up on YouTube as well. We are live on YouTube as well as Twitch. Hello, everyone. Oh. Can I take this off? I'm sorry. This is itching a little bit too much. Holy shit. I want to just get a hat on instead. Oh God. That was killing my nose. Everyone says I touch my nose too much on these streams. Well, part of that is that thing itching like hell against me. Sorry, I'm getting some texts from my friends. You guys will appreciate this if anyone remembers the name Rob Parker, who, again, is a great mentor of mine, but a certified Lions hater. I know he's on live in LA. I'm just texting with a friend right now. Who wants some fun stuff? I feel bad because this is Mina Kimes getting taken a little bit to task. Hey, man, I don't do coke. I got a lot of other stuff I do, but not coke. Not yet, at least. Where is the screen capture? All right, here we go. Mina. Where in LA do I live? I am in the, not to give myself completely away, but I live in the San Fernando Valley. I'm up on the western end of it. I'm like 15 minutes away from Sherman Oaks. Yeah. I heard you jamming Lions bits into your FSR updates. That's right. I did mention Alex Anzalone. I thought that was relevant enough. Listen, man, I've had some other guys who have been update anchors at FSR who all they do is for like a full minute talk about UCLA. I'm allowed to have some fun with it. Cold Takes Exposed. I do not like Cold Takes Exposed. I'm not going to lie. I have blocked those guys. So, yeah, I'm in LA, and hey, maybe I'll have to go see if I can get some tickets to go to the or like a Pierce. So again, not to put myself out, but I drive by Pierce. I live off of Winnetka Avenue. I know exactly where Pierce College is, and I drive by it every day. Chris, I did go to St. John's. I did go to St. John's in Toledo, yes, for high school. I'm giving away every fact about myself tonight. I got to worry about this a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm St. John's. I don't trust a Franny. 2 a.m. in Brazil, still celebrating. Thank you, Lions Brazil. Stalk me. Good Lord. Yeah, I will, damn, man. What can I say? I might have to go out to Drugstore Cowboy for this next one. I don't know. Minnesota wanted to stop the passing game, but the Detroit running game won the game. They were selling out pretty well to stop the run early in this game as well. I mean, my name is out there. Like, my actual real name is out there. It's on older podcasts. Like, not my, Perfet name. Like, my actual real name is out there. Like, I can't dox myself any harder. Like, listen, we have Andrew Cotto on the staff. Andrew Cotto is a monster at finding data about people. I do believe we have the hold on one second. We're going to try to get some videos together. Sorry. My local parish is right next to St. Francis. Would that happen to be Jesu, Woodchuck Hunter? Because I got confirmed at Jesu. We used to go to, I believe I did Sunday school at Jesu. I know Jesu very well. We went there for a very long time until I believe Corpus Christi opened up. And the priest who opened up Corpus Christi was the one who had baptized most of my family. So we went over to him, and he's over across from, University of Toledo. I know. Stop doxing myself. Let's talk some Lions. Let's talk. Yeah, it is Jesu. I knew it. I know my Toledo. I know my Toledo very well. I was just back in Toledo not long ago. Let's talk about how KOC fucking choked. Locker room video? I'm waiting for it. I don't think it's out yet. We'll get it as soon as we can. We do have an interaction between, let's see here. You want to see, I want to show the, here, let me move this up a bit. Can we get this? Yeah. Okay, here we go. KOC and, Dan Campbell meeting up.
Good job, Gracie. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Might see him in 2 weeks.
Oh, God, I really don't want to see them again in 2 weeks, but that's great. Oh, God. Oh, you don't want to see my Twitter. No, please don't. We're going to try to get what we can from Dan Campbell for the post game on this. Has anyone checked in with Florio? What was Florio doing? I'm genuinely curious what Florio was doing. I mean, I know Florio could do a lot of things. Listen, man, there's a lot of Vikings people out there. That's fine. I like a lot of them. I love Drew McGarry. I love Arif Hassan. That's why I never liked when Vikings fans and Lions fans are all getting chippy at each other. And by the way, since we're in a spirit of giving, I don't normally do this. But as I said to my friend Robert Zaglinski today, you know what? Fuck the Packers is a universal mentality. And I cheer on any team that fucks the Packers. So yes, even the Bears get to have FTP. Drew McGarry, at least admits Vikes fans are also annoying. I think so does Arif. I think so does Arif. Christian Mahogany's latest tweet. Let's go find it. Is he being a dirtbag again? I know. I saw post-game's on. I'll see when they go to Dan Campbell at the podium. Oh, my God. I love this man. He loves Dune like I do. He loves Dune like I do. He's just like me for real. He's just like me for real. If you guys haven't seen Dune Part 2, please do. Please do. All right. Let's see if we get post-game coming up soon. We'll get the presser from... I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. My nose is always so dry when I do these things. I swear I'm not doing cocaine. I only act like it. I only act like I'm doing cocaine. I am not. I am not. I am not. I'm not. Coca-Cola and rum, sure. I was going to say, I really hate how a lot of people are... I do need to do a nasal clean. I don't like how a lot of people are going to use this one game to bury Sam Darnold. I really don't. I really do not like how it's going to be. This game, like, Sam Darnold had a fantastic season. I don't want to take anything away from Sam Darnold. But he really saw ghosts tonight, man. Holy shit. He really got taken to the woodshed. Yeah. No, I get it. He wasn't up for the moment, I feel like. Goff was already at the podium. So here's the thing. They have it recorded for the post game, so we'll see when we get the top things. This was a good night for the Darnold haters. I just hate to see it. I hate to see it. I thought he's had a fantastic season. I think he's earned his contract somewhere, wherever that is. Be that a... but it did kind of... I don't know if this was a Cinderella, and I do think Darnold can do it, but I do think the Lions have the playbook on the Vikings. Who can we expect back now that we have a bye week? Like, who's getting slated to return? Yeah, David Montgomery seems to be the obvious one right now. The other one, I don't know what's going on with Emmanuel Mosley. I believe is he back on the IR list? I think I saw. Or not Emmanuel, Mosley, yeah. I can't show ESPN, so. Oh, it's non-football injury list? Okay. When we win it all, does AG stay or leave? I think that's going to 100% depend upon whether he wants the Saints job or not. I think that's going to be... By the way, noticed how some of the rumors are starting to track back a little bit on Ben Johnson. Anyway, Jared Goff's at the podium.
Yes. Yeah. Unbelievable, yeah. I don't know what his numbers were, but, yeah, he was impressive. And we kind of came into this one knowing we were going to need him to be. And he played his tail off, and our offensive line blocked their tails off. And, yeah, he was special today, and we needed him to be. Yeah.
To hold that team out of the end zone, have some crucial stops inside the 5-yard line. I mean, they may just be playing after play all day.
I can't say enough good things about what they did tonight. I mean, it's unbelievable. And again, everyone keeps writing out how injured they are and depleted, and they don't care. It's next man up, and played their absolute tails off today. And that's a damn good offense they just played, and no touchdowns, right? I believe, yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable what they did. They bailed me out a couple times, bailed us out offensively a couple times, and team win. We appreciate it. They were unbelievable.
Jared, what's the significance after going through all the way week 18 battle
Yeah.
to win the division, to walk out of that room and talk to us wearing that shirt that time?
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. Yeah, you never know how it's going to play out as the season goes on, but when it comes down to week 18 for all the marbles in the division, yeah, it feels good to be on this side of it and to know we get a little bit of rest here now and 2 home games, and then we'll go from there.
Maybe tough to do in the moment, but can you sort of put into where's the big picture of everything that you accomplished?
Not the cherry on top. No, not yet. Yeah, it's fun. It's what we talked about when we first got here. Certainly when I first got here was what the opportunity you dream about is being able to win division championships in the NFC North and then ultimately win Super Bowls, and that's what's next for us. I think, yeah, this is fun and exciting, and we obviously wanted it really bad. We're going to enjoy the heck out of it, but it's step one. And yeah, in some other world, it would have happened a few weeks ago, and we'd be having this conversation a few weeks ago, but it happened week 18, and it had to happen the way it did, and everything happens for a reason, and now we need to enjoy this and then get ready to go win another one.
Can you exhale and realize how important it really was probably to get this extra week of rest because of the injuries and everything else? And now can you say
I will never count our guys out with injuries. Never. Yeah, sure. To answer your question, yes, getting the rest with injuries absolutely helps, but what our defense has done with the amount of guys they've had out, and they don't care. They don't flinch. They don't care. It's a mentality. It's who they are. It's what Dan breathes into them. It's what AG breathes into them. And it's just who they are just as humans. They don't care. You keep taking guys out, they don't care. They just keep on coming, and they're a dangerous crew right now.
In a different world than you guys mentioned earlier, but is there something that you can gain from having to fight to the finish of this all the way to Sunday night of Week 18?
Yeah, I mean it's an awesome moment, absolutely. Yeah, it's really cool, and we knew coming into it was for everything in the division, and yeah, it was. Dan joked about it. We like it hard. Yeah, it was the hard way, and we had to do it the hard way, and yeah, it was a hard game too, and certainly offensively we struggled a bit early on to kind of stay ahead of schedule and score points, but I thought we hung in there nicely, and that second half was really good.
This fellow leader on this team, what's to say about Anzalone, be able to come back in this game and play like every defensive snap?
He's a stud. He's an absolute stud, and he's just been chomping at the bit to get back, and this was the perfect game for him to come back to play man coverage and to cover TJ, and we know he's a hell of a player, and Alex I thought played great. I'm not watching their tape or anything, but to me it looked like he was playing pretty well, and he's an energy guy. He brings a lot of energy to that defense. He's a leader. He's a captain. Having him back out there is huge.
Fourth down play for you,
Yeah.
Did it work? Is that something you guys thought coming in?
Yeah, we have it a part of our offense. At certain times we'll pull it out, and we've been pretty successful with it. So, yeah.
so a couple more guys?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We saw Draymond his first thousand yards.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
How much did you want to get that?
Yeah, I'm so proud of him, man. He's come such a long way, and he's such an integral part of our team now. And yeah, that 1,000 was cool for him. He deserves it, and he probably deserves more yards than that. But he's done a hell of a job holding himself to a really high standard and demanding more of himself. And I'm super proud of him.
Can you speak to the leadership you get with this franchise from Sheila down to Brad and Dan and then the locker room?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, Sheila's been as good as it gets across the league, and I always think back to when she stood in front of all you guys and spoke that week. That was as strong as it gets, putting her faith in Dan and Brad and all of us. And a lot of owners won't do that. They don't do that, and it's a lot easier to pull the plug in certain situations. So, yeah, what she's done, and then obviously trickles down to Brad and Dan and to all of us. It's been a fun team to be a part of, and I couldn't be happier.
You haven't been in there yet. Can you just describe the locker room?
Pretty fun. Yeah, pretty fun.
Because there is a Super Bowl, what is the celebration like right now? Is it muted? Is it you realize that this is a huge accomplishment, so you celebrate this and then move on?
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment, but like I said, and we said it in there, like, it's step one. And again, like in another world, it happened a couple weeks ago, but it happens right now, and now the playoffs start. But it's step one, and we're proud to be 15-2 NFC North Division champs, back to back, 1 seed, bye week, all that stuff. We're proud of it, but this is just tick number 1, check, and tick number 2 is next.
Thank you guys. Right, Dan Campbell next, and
Good.
Amik Robertson and Alexander Anzalone at the podium as well.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself while I was taking care of some stuff. Yeah, no, sorry. Okay, so as I said, very interesting to hear some of that stuff out of him, especially their mentality moving forward. I would celebrate a little bit, but I totally get it. I totally get that not every sport's baseball, and it's just an eye on one thing and one thing alone right now, man. You can hear me now. Don't do that. I know that you can hear me. I am not still muted. I see my levels. You guys better not be messing with me. Alex might not have missed anything, but we sure as hell missed him. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's beautiful. Does Dan get Coach of the Year off this game? Does Dan get Coach of the Year off of this game? We've had a lot of talk about how the award works, and he should get some consideration. But for whatever reason, your defense being an abattoir doesn't get you the consideration that most people did. And I feel like at some point, the idea that Kevin O'Connell is still Coach of the Year will continue. No, CDN Warrior, that was just the first interview. We had Jared Goff. We're going to have Dan Campbell in a little bit. So we'll try to get that. I do think Sean Payton should be up for that consideration, and Dan Quinn as well. But unfortunately, like again, I think Dan Campbell should have a lot of consideration, but we know how this award works. And I hate to be very down about it, but like, yeah. It's tough. I don't know what else to do about it. Sorry, 1 second. I'm like uploading our post-game podcast. I usually get it done during a interview. I do want to give some credit to a few other people. So first off, Dan Graziano was the only one from Get Up. Since we showed the ESPN graphic where everyone on NFL Live picked the Vikings, let's be fair a little bit. Let's be a little fair. Let's be a little fair as I pull up my screen capture. Let's give some props to Dan Graziano. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. I'm going to put this away while I find what I was looking for. We're going to shout out two other shows on ESPN because the mothership is the mothership. It's a big place. So first off, Dan Graziano, who praised the atmosphere. We talked about it on the postgame pod. Praised the atmosphere at Ford Field, picking the Lions. ESPN Mexico. Sergio Miguel Carey. Now that looks a lot better. Bueno. Yeah. Wins over expected is the metric for Coach of the Year. Andy Reid should be at most. But I think most people expect, here's a problem. Most people expect Andy Reid to get a lot of wins. Most people before all of this entire season, there were a lot of people picking the Vikings to finish dead last. That they finished 14-3 is still well above. And I hate that it is based on those looks, right? Because it is basically, did you exceed the bar we set for you? I don't think how it should work, but it's how it goes. And a lot of people picked the Vikings to finish dead last. And there were a lot of people who did that purely because they were buying into the jungle juice of the Packers and the Bears. But you know what? I'm not going to shit on the Bears tonight because fuck the Packers is universal. And they fucked the Packers. They hit them. And by the way, the Packers are now got locked into that playing the Eagles off of that game. It was beautiful. No, listen. I do not like Chicago. I think that entire sports town is one of my most hated. I do not like Chicago. But there it is from Thomas J. Hutchinson. FTP. FTP, man. That's what it's about. FTP. Still hate them the most. Yeah, and it's not like the Bears played exactly very well in that game. So we'll get some FTBs in there, but also, yeah. Here's an early look at we got early look at the Detroit News front page, if anyone wants to see it. Let me pull it up over here. I know people love newspapers. I always love getting a quick look at the front page for tomorrow. I always love tomorrow's news. If you want to impress me on a radio show or a TV show, give me something called Tomorrow's Headlines Today. I love that shit. Maybe one of the last people on earth who still enjoys newspaper headlines. Wonder why Dan Quinn isn't getting more considered. I think a lot of people are considering Dan Quinn. However, the Commanders did cool off near the end of the year that I think enough people kind of like backed off a little bit from Dan Quinn. But that was a big time win they had over the this is also the problem, right? Because I feel like Jaden Daniels doing well also kind of is a double-edged sword. How much of that is Dan Quinn and how much Jaden Daniels? All right, DC's up.
What a win. What a win. Guys, I can't say enough about our defense. Let me start there, man. AG and this defense, they really, controlled that game for us, particularly the first half, 2.5 quarters. The guys on defense, I thought executed exactly the way that we had worked and what we had talked about. We were able to apply a lot of pressure, and it just paid dividends. That's a good team over there. They're well coached. Kevin O'Connell does a great job. Ton of weapons, and we were able to contain them and keep them at bay until our offense was able to find our rhythm. So just total team effort. Started with our defense and took the whole unit. But man, what a great job. Back-to-back division winners in the NFC North. Got the 1 seed, 15 wins. I just couldn't be more proud of those guys. And I just told them that to me this has been in the making for a while. It takes a special group of guys, and I think you kind of had to go through what we've been through over the last 4 years, the core of this unit, and then anybody that comes in, they fall in line because that's what we're built around is our core, and they really delivered for us today. Our playmakers made plays when we needed it. With who? It was huge. Look, I've said it before. He's really our quarterback on defense. He's our quarterback on defense, and he just brings. There's a lot of confidence. He brings a lot of energy. He can calm the storms. He just to have him back. And I thought it was going to take him a minute to work himself back in, and it didn't take long at all. And he was back to what he was before he got injured, I thought. So, hell, we gave him a game ball. So, it was outstanding. So to have him back was it was huge.
You said a couple days ago you really like what AG has put out for the defensive game plan.
Yeah.
Explain why you guys took the approach you did, even Sam up, and then on top of that, the red zone defense.
Yeah, great job there. And it was really, you look at all this, Darnold has really played better and better every week. It feels like he's just continued to make this gradual climb and continue to improve. And what you really see is, man, when he gets the play action pass and they nudge the edges or they'll max protect on some of this stuff, 2 receiver routes, 3 receiver routes, and he can see it and has time, he's deadly. And we could not allow that to happen. We didn't feel like there was any way we could let him sit back there because we did think he would pick us apart, if you give him that much time, because he was playing at such a high level with the weapons they had. And so we knew it needed to be the right balance of coverage and pressure. And we tried to bring more than they could handle for most of it. And then we had to hold on the back end, and those guys did, man. They covered their tails off for most of that game. So, and then we were able to play enough to where we could double 18, take care of him, and we singled some guys up, like Alex was one-on-one with Hawk, on a number of things. And so it worked. It really worked exactly like, we kind of envisioned it to. So I couldn't be more proud of those guys. AG laid out the vision for it. The guys really showed up and performed, and man, it was great.
You mentioned your playmaker, Gibbs in particular, at a time when your offense needed a spark. How big was he
He was big, and I felt like he gained steam as the game went on. I thought he got better and better and better, and you could really feel it after that last stop we got in the red zone on the fourth down stop, and that next carry he has where he just breaks it down the sideline. You could feel it. So he was big for us, and we felt like he was going to need to be big for us to win that game. He was kind of all those guys needed to play well for us, but we felt like Gibbs could somewhat be the X factor here, and he did, man. He showed up in a big way in the run game and the pass game.
When you talked before about the defense being more than the savages, is kind of what you envisioned, what you meant all along?
Yeah, I mean, I think with where we're at, look, there's no secret. Like we have to be able to play a certain way, and the recipe is right as long as our guys play lights out. They do exactly what they're asked to do. They work as one unit, and they go after the football, And if we do those things, we can be effective. And they did that today, man. I felt like they played with high energy. They did exactly what the coaches asked them to do. Everybody did their part to a T. And you see the results of it, and so yeah, it's a special group, man. It's a special group.
They may ask you questions about changing the perception of this franchise. It seems almost weekly here. To go into this historic matchup, 20 wins between the two of you guys, and to leave here as a team that gets that crown and gets a home field advantage, how do you put into words what you guys were able to accomplish this season in the regular season so far?
I don't know if I can put it into words. There's so many things on my mind that I'm not ready to share, if that makes sense. So I no different than anybody else on that team, on the coaching staff, and fueled by different things. And so we did what we needed to do here. This was a big matchup. We were coming off a Monday night game against an opponent that had gotten us last year, and our guys didn't bat an eye. They line up, they compete, they play to win, and we knew what was at stake. And our guys just, man, they came out and played. And ultimately, when you sit back and you go through a game like this, man, do we have enough? Did we, talking to the coaches, do we have enough in? Is this right? Is it too much? Have we really gone over the finer details of this? What if they do? And you finally step back and go, man, our guys are going to show up. They always do. Our players will show up and make plays, and because the core of this group has been doing it for 4 years now, and we've added to that, and those guys have just continued to add to it and help us along the way and enhance us, and they did it again, man. Our guys did it again.
They kicked the field goal to make it 10-9. Did the offense say something on the sidelines to say, we got your back on the defensive side? Not that the defense needed it because they didn't have any points after that. But what was the mood like on the sideline?
No, we were good. Our defense we had talked about all along. We knew we were going to need to play a certain type of game. And it didn't totally play out that way because of circumstance, but our defense was ready. If things didn't go right, our defense was fully ready to take the field and do what they needed to do. That was the mindset. And, you don't walk onto the field, you sprint on the field, and you got to get a stop. And they did that, and they really set the tone for us.
Amik, a game ball last week.
He got another one.
Well, yeah, just the way that he's been playing. He's carrying on, obviously, what he did against Justin, even though he had some help, the way that he's played, the lift that he's giving you guys in the secondary.
Yeah, it's the reason we signed him. We were fortunate enough to be able to play against him. Had crossover tape last year. He is competitive. He's as competitive as they come. He doesn't turn down any challenge. And, no matter what, you can say, hey, go cover that guy, and he's going to give you his best. He's not going to shy away from it. He's not going to fear from it. He has skill. He has ability. And it's not always going to be perfect, but you can bank on what he's going to give you. And And once again, man, he showed up for us. And look, we doubled some. You know, we fisted over him. We had it to where he had help over the top, but then we'd single him up too. And, you know, Amik's just been, you know, he's really one of the guys that has helped us play really good defense this year and play the style of defense that we want to play and AG wants to play, to be able to challenge more on the perimeter. It's big for us. I'll know more tomorrow. I mean, it was obviously enough to where he couldn't finish a game, you know, so take that for what it is. I'm sorry.
Did he get X-rays?
He did. The X-rays were negative, but that doesn't mean he was pretty tender. So, you know, well.
All right. Enough
Being
on
the
that.
starting
sorry.
quarterback for the Lions.
Stop talking. No ads. Except for the ones we run on here. Sorry, I missed some of that right now because, as you can see, I had to slip into the victory jacket, the Vegas victory jacket. Doesn't really work when we're not going to Vegas this year. And the chalice, you can't see anymore because I've been drinking, has been filled up. The Honolulu Blue Tiki mug is ready to party tonight. Nothing fancy, though. Just gin and juice. I had to, I was worried you guys could hear me because A, I was still freezing some cubes in my trays, and B, my bottle of Tanqueray was really buried in the back behind a lot of rum. Usually because I think the last time I used this, I was making Singapore slings. I don't usually have gin. Oh, it's Tanqueray 10, I believe, is... I usually like Bombay Sapphire a lot, but I think Tank 10 makes the best Singapore slings, and I am a tiki guy. Where'd I get the blue tiki mug? Great question. I don't remember. I think I found this on eBay. I just added another tiki mug to my collection, and unfortunately I may have chipped one of my other tiki mugs the other night when I was bringing in food for Ruby. Roku. I have not had Roku before. I'll have to try that. I'm not usually big on gin. I'm not usually I usually go for like a Moscow Mule over a gin and tonic, but gin's not bad. I am a massive rum drinker. Let's go to the...
Zadarius Smith. Zadarius, you came here on November 5th. You're now at 15-2. You've got an NFC North divisional title, the first ever 1 seed for the playoffs in franchise history. Home field in the playoffs and a week off. Was it everything you thought it would be?
Yes, sir, it is. I'm just so excited and happy, man, to be here with this football team. Ever since I got here, man, they welcomed me in as a brother, man, so I'm just so happy that we get the opportunity to run the North. We get a bye week, and everybody got to come through here, baby. Yeah!
Zadarius, this atmosphere here tonight, Sunday Night Football, last game of the 2024 season. What was it like in here to play?
Oh, man, the fans set the tone, man. Everybody came out. I'm just so happy, man. And check this out. They're going to have to be here for 2 more games, right? Yes, sir. It's up, man. I can't wait. So excited, man. I love y'all.
Fans, let's hear for number 99, Zadarius Smith, and your 2024 NFC North Divisional Champion, Detroit Lions.
Love to see it. All right. How do I go back to this? Okay, excuse me. Yeah, no, sorry. Bruegel. I don't think I've had Bruegel. I know we keep talking about other stuff. I do need to start doing my own personal streams again. But, Rosu. Sorry, let me get the name of that gin before we. Roku, like the box, like the stream box. Yeah, JB is gonna be chirping tomorrow. Yeah. Brugal. Oh, the Dominican rum. Okay, my favorite rum right now is Clement. It's from Martinique, and they do like rum agricole, which is like a very herbal rum, and it makes the best Mai Tais, man. It's the best flavorful stuff out there. Anyway. We'll wait and see if we get another at the podium, but I'm going to keep taking questions here. We're going to keep the party going. Empress is a great gin, too. I'll have to look into that. Man, got a lot. Trust me, I've got a ton of rum to drink around here. I just got some syrup bottles, too, because I'm going to start making my own syrups for like cinnamon syrup and allspice dram, and I'm going to try my hand at Fasciola as well, because I went up to the Tiki Bar in Ventura the other day, and the man up there made a fantastic Cobra Fang, and I love Cobra Fang. Cooking stream. I do owe you guys from Movember a cooking stream. I do owe you one. I don't want that to all be me mixing drinks and being boozy, but I need to clean up my kitchen again, and we've just been busy, but yeah, I will try to do it. Alex Anzalone's at the podium.
So what did that feel like running out of that tunnel and hearing that reaction of the crowd?
It was fun. Obviously it's going last, and, have the opportunity to run out of the tunnel even, after being out however long, 6 weeks. It was a blessing, and I love our fans. They're so supportive, and they get excited when we need them.
Alex, what did you learn about yourself in the last 6 weeks? You've been through this injury before, different
Yeah.
timeline, older, wiser.
Right.
What did you learn about yourself recovering from this?
Yeah, it's hard. I think that, anytime you deal with an injury and soreness and pain, and, you have to have, for me personally, I feel like I just committed to recovery early on, and it paid off to come back a little bit ahead of schedule. And, anytime you get hurt or deal with adversity, mindset-wise, it's an opportunity to grow. And I feel like, I've grown in different ways, and, you get the game taken away from you, and when you come back, it's a blessing to play again.
All of you talked about the benefits and dangers of coming back to
Yeah.
the game or waiting. What made this decision for you to come back and play?
Yeah, I think that just, the volume of work Thursday and Friday, and even on Saturday, just making the decision to play was, wasn't necessarily a clear and cut thing. There are risk involved, and, refracture risk, but at the same time is kind of like I talked to you guys about early in the week. Is it safe to play? Is it, worth playing? And how do I feel? So, we collaboratively made that decision, and, yeah, I think. What do you tell me? You think so?
To play is, I think you played every defensive snap.
Yeah.
That workload coming in right away.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Shep about it a little bit, and, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go, and that's kind of how I'm used to playing. I'm used to playing every play, and, it's just one of those things that, I felt good to go. And
How do you feel making that first tackle when you were back?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't tackled anyone in over 7 weeks, and obviously dealing with an arm injury, and, it felt good just getting in the groove, and, that first hit, you're like, okay, I'm good. And, you just build confidence as you go.
What about the defensive effort overall? Just the defensive effort overall, holding that team out of the end.
Yeah, I mean, first I'll start with AG. I think that, he does an amazing job leading us, keeping us accountable, calling people out when they need to be called out, teaching when he needs to teach, uplift when he needs to uplift. And, I haven't been around Dan and AG are, hand in hand as far as best leaders I've been around. And, it starts with him and guys buying into his plan and how he sees the game, the game's going to go. So, the guys just rallied around what he said and his game plan, and we were flying around and played a clean game. And the last few weeks we haven't played clean collectively, and, that's what we did tonight.
Alex, you said that the narrative was BS, that you guys, this defense wasn't good enough to win the Super Bowl. How do you think you guys changed that narrative today?
You tell me. I mean, I haven't gone on Twitter or anything yet. Yeah, I mean, tonight was a statement. I think that is an opportunity to change the narrative against a, really good offense, against great weapons, great running back, a quarterback that's really hot right now. And, it's an opportunity for us to affect that narrative that, everyone else is talking about.
How does the game go from 10-9 to total domination into 9 points?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those games where we were clicking on defense, and we were put in some crappy situations, and the offense relied on us a little bit, and the red zone is probably the biggest factor in that limiting points, and just playing situational defense that AG always preaches.
Did you see their frustration as that went on?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can tell when a team gets frustrated, and and I get it.
How big was it for your confidence not only to make that first tackle, but a ton of reps in man coverage on Hawkinson all day?
Yeah.
To keep up and feel like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I love TJ. I think I have a ton of respect for him, and coming back from that injury isn't easy, and we used to go at it in training camp a ton and compete with each other, and obviously now in the game, and I have a ton of respect for him, and he's a great player. But yeah, it's a challenge that I was singled up on him a lot with no help, and that's kind of what I do, and that's one of my attributes.
There was a point where you and Sam Darnold were walking off from a play together after you got to him pretty quickly. Do you remember what that combo was?
Probably something not friendly. I don't remember, but yeah, I was excited this game.
What did you see or hear in Glenn's game plan that made you think this was possible?
I mean, every week he puts together a great game plan, and I'm not just saying that. I honestly think that what he calls and what he situationally and tendency-wise, it all makes sense. It's just the last few weeks, it just hasn't been clicking, and it's a lot of it's, like I said, from our own mistakes, not guys, just playing, flat out getting beat. I think it was just, guys running into each other, biting too much up on play action pass, doing the little things, not well. And I think that, that's what we're focused on this week and going forward.
When was the last time? When was the last time you were introduced last at any level? Do you remember?
I think when Aiden got hurt after that, I started, and last year. But I understood that earlier this year, Aiden getting introduced last. But yeah, when Aiden's not playing, I guess I go last. I guess that's the thing.
From a human element, I mean, you sit against the wall.
Oh, okay. They're just
We
cutting
could
away.
pick.
All right, sure. They're just cutting away from him. Sure, whatever. Okay, we'll do that. Sure. Sorry, I'm like juggling a bunch of screens right now too. Hey, is anyone interested in seeing who the Lions' opponents are for next year? Because we have them set. We have them all set right now. I know we're all thinking you can watch Danny too, but I want you to watch me. We do have the opponents set, which means the Lions once again will be playing the LA Rams. Big question if whether or not they are going to see our old friend Matt Stafford in that game. I'm actually just talking with a friend right now who's a bit of a Rams fan. I do not know if Stafford will be back next year. That is a big question. So they're going to be playing the big thing is they're going to play the NFC East and the AFC North next year. North is going to be very interesting to play. None of the North teams are easy outs. They all play very physical and very tough. I believe CDN Warrior Calais Campbell will be a he'd have to go through waivers first, I believe, correct? Or there wouldn't be waivers at the end of the year, I believe. Yeah, sorry, I took that off a little too quickly. Oh my God, my nose. I'm so sorry. No, they do not have the Chargers. Tony come through. They would have Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh. Oops, sorry, that's my They would have New York Giants, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Washington, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore, KC, and Rams. Feels like Steelers on Thanksgiving. I think they're starting to lean more towards having an NFC North opponent on Thanksgiving. I think they have been leaning very, very hard towards that the last few years. Oh, God. Man. Remember when Joy Taylor said that Lions fans, she was embarrassed, that she wanted the best for Lions fans and not Dan Campbell? I don't think I can say anything else about Joy Taylor, actually, so considering what's in the news right now. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm just going to leave that there. Oh, boy, I'm getting hot in this jacket already. Yes, I believe Dennis Diff, she is embarrassed right now, but not for that reason. That's all I'll say. If you watched some stuff this year. Anyway.
How y'all doing?
I think we got Amik Robertson at the podium.
I know I got to bring this down, so I'm a little small. Y'all can hear me? All right, bet.
Who is Joy Taylor? Just Google Joy Taylor.
First and foremost, man, I just want to thank God, man, for putting me in this position. I give him all the praise and glory. But as far as the defense, AG called a great scheme for us. And we trusted him, and they just told us to go out there, man. Like I always say, go out there and play Lions football, man. And that's what we did. We had to defend our territory, and I feel like that's what we did tonight. Yeah. I tried to keep it on tuck, man. When y'all kept asking me about, who's going to be on or whatever, I was trying, because I knew, people, I was going whatever. So, I tried to keep it on tuck. But when AG and Dan, when they gave me the assignment, man, I knew we had a chance to win, and I knew it was going to put me in a good situation to be myself within the scheme, So I just felt like, of course, the defense, I knew guys were going to fly around. I already knew. But when they told me the assignment was to guard Jefferson, I knew we had a chance to win because, I always believe in myself. It was what, Tuesday, maybe Monday night, one of them. I've been anxious for this opportunity for so long. Everything I did out there, I expected. I knew I was gonna play. Play that way. The only thing I kind of was shocking that I got player of the game. I never got one of those, man. That was an unreal feeling.
Amik, how do you explain on this defense losing guy after guy, lost Arnold today, just keeps performing hot?
We just believe in each other, man. And each and every time we at practice, we rotate. We get guys in to have a good feel for the game. At the end of the day, and we got coaches, that believe in next man up. So we got those kind of guys. So whenever someone go down, yeah, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but we trust those those next guys up.
How important is this week for you guys to get the bye, get a chance to sit back, rest a little bit, watch what goes on, and you're at home the rest of the week?
Yeah, it's very important, man. That's what we needed. We needed this bye because we've been playing playing some football for a long time. I'm glad we was able to get the win, but we definitely will take advantage of this bye.
This is your first season here. What's that level of trust mean to you? Coming to you?
Say it again.
This is your first season here. What's it mean to have that much trust in you to go out there and guard?
Man, when I signed here, man, I told Dan, told Brad, told AG that I appreciate them, man, because I don't mean to, whatever with nobody, but they, I've been through a lot, man. They tried to, like I told them, they tried to bury me, man. Say I was this, I was too small, this and that, but you can't bury it. We come from the dirt, So, I got here by earning everything, So just having, coaches like that, a GM like that believe in you, want to go out there and run through a wall for them, man. And I tell them all the time, that I appreciate them.
Did you see JJ get frustrated? He was sick of you by the first quarter.
JJ's a great player, man. Great player, man. But I just feel the only thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, after the first game, he scored on me, and I told him good game. He was all, oh yeah, man, I'm proud of you, whatever. But after this game, he just walked off the field. It's okay though. Maybe we'll see him again, whatever. But we know what our goal is, man. We just try to get better each and every week.
Couple more guys. Y'all been seeing each other since high school, and like camps go way back in 22.
Yeah.
What was that bringing all of that history into this game?
I knew a lot of people was going to be watching. A lot of old coaches, guys like, Ryan Clark. And, I know a lot of people was going to be watching this matchup, man. But I kind of didn't really get too involved with that, man. I came out here to, to help my team win, man. And I was glad that I was able to do that.
Can you talk about those series at 3-yard line, 5-yard line, when a lot of teams end up scoring touchdowns when they have first and goal, go 5 and 3. What it was for the defense today that kept them out of the end zone time?
That grit, man. If offense, whatever, we go out there and show people what we're capable of. We hear like I said, we hear the noise, man. We hear whatever. We came out tonight and played Lions football, and we did it high fashion, and we did it our way. And I told those guys, man, I'm proud of them. I'm happy. I'm happy to be a part of a special unit. Playing Lions football, man, the secondary covered to get them time, and we covered, and they was able to get back there and get, have keep Darnold on his heels. You know, AG just came up with an unbelievable scheme, and we just went out there aggressively and played our style of football.
Before you go, can you just put into words what this win means to finish 15-2, to win the division, get the first number? There's still more to accomplish.
Yeah.
But to be here at the end of the regular season.
Me personally, I know a lot of guys. Man, we happy about this, man. Like, you know, this is what we needed. You know, but you know that 24-hour rule, man. We know what our goal is. We gonna get rest. We know what our goal is, man. You know, 'cause they, you know, we was able to come up short last year, so we know what our goal is. We got that 24-hour rule. Enjoy this victory, man, and get back to the lab because we understand, you know, what's, you know, what we wanna do and what our goal is.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, let's go back.
After
Cam,
3.5 straight months.
Okay, no. Lions the only team to have swept their division this year, I believe. I believe that is true. I believe that is true because I believe in great things for this Detroit Lions team. Well, you sit here sipping on gin and juice. The gin and juice already got me feeling warm. You know what? Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the travel in Minnesota. I believe I got high wind warnings here where I live in the San Fernando Valley, which means the Santa Anas are going to be roiling through again. And that means that probably be in like the high 60s, low 70s by Monday. No lower than like, you know, mid 60s. You're going to feel nice out here. You're going to feel very nice. Enjoy the Rams. Enjoy the Rams. Bro, can we talk about the rest of the... I thought this was a very fun final week of the NFL, especially that early slate. Once again, I do have to shout out, and I know that some people don't like it, but I will shout out the Chicago Bears. Let's give them some credit. Beating the Packers is very cool. Beating the Packers is very cool. You lock them into playing the Eagles. Yeah, fuck the Packers is a universal mindset. I would like to also say that the Saints, even though the Saints looked close to beating the Buccaneers, it wouldn't have mattered at the end of the day because god damn do the Falcons suck. 44 points allowed to the Carolina Panthers. And I really got to ask, have we rewritten the script on Bryce Young a little bit? Is he going to be dangerous next year? Could it very well be that the Carolina Panthers, with the right pickups and a top 10 draft pick, could suddenly become a contender for the NFC South? Who goes first? Gutekunst. I get thrown off every time we put it as MLF because I think of ML football. So Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur, or Love. Who goes first? I'm going to say Love. What's the contract Love has right now? Because here's the thing, and here's the annoying thing about the Packers. They never really bottom out. Jordan Love contract, I believe he has a potential out in 2027, and his contract goes all the way to 2029. So are we saying 4 more years of... Because I don't... With the structure the Packers have in ownership, they're immune from a lot of... This is the thing that's annoying about the Packers, is that they do not... because it's a blessing of what they have in their ownership. We can mock Packers fans all we want for the stupid ownership things, but I would rather have their ownership model than deal with the whims of billionaires. It does mean that Gutekunst is probably set and he hasn't really screwed up any drafts. They draft very well at the end of the day. There's nothing in the front office that you can look at Gutekunst and rake him over the coals for. Matt LaFleur, I think there's a cap to Matt LaFleur. He certainly gets boggled, but that team, he gets his team playing well. New Packers president this year. Ooh, that's a good point. That is a good point. The The Browns may end up in the hands of the city of Cleveland soon. That's a very fun story for those who did not see that. You guys, if you guys didn't see the story about the Cleveland Browns and the city, because they wanted to do this new stadium outside the city limits, they are invoking what is called the Medell Law, named after Art Medell, who took the original Browns to Baltimore. I don't know if they would win in that. I don't know if they would win if in that kind of thing, but in that kind of legal battle. But yeah, that's going to be very fascinating if the Browns end up owned by the city. It would be curious to see how the kind of purchasing, because it basically, they have to allow, so I believe the law means they have to allow 6 months for the local government and investors an opportunity to buy the team. Will they get it over Haslam? Could this be Dan Gilbert's play into getting some NFL ownership? Hard to say. J-Mo hit 1,000 yards. Thoughts? Well, I mean, he was already at 1,000-yard scrimmage, I believe. This doesn't change much of him. This has definitely been the better season for him. But I mean, I don't know what else to say about J-Mo that we haven't already talked about. Like, he's fantastic. I believe like the way he works with like St. Brown on plays and stuff has been phenomenal. It's beautiful. I don't know what else we need to say about him. He's excellent. He's doing a lot more this year when a lot of people it's like, oh yeah, just put him out there on a deep threat. Man, he's everywhere on the field, man. He's everywhere. They've really worked him out. They've really worked him out very well. And I think he is, like, him and St. Brown together is fantastic. Amik or Terrian you have to pick. I'm not going to pick, because the problem is that Terrian is a rookie. Rookie corners grow. And I think we've, yeah, he's beating the go route merchant allegations. Yeah, he is fast. Here's the thing with Terrian is like Amik's been playing in this league. He's a reclamation. And he had the game of his life. I don't think that's fair to do that to Terrian Arnold, especially a rookie and especially someone who just took a hell of an injury. So I hope Terrian Arnold is fine. And I will refuse to pick. I'm sorry, that's a bit of a cop-out. I apologize. I tend to cop out on these kind of things a lot. Victory is right. Thank you. Do I have some more stuff? Thomas J. Hutchinson, I did not get your Prime subscription. Omnimon, 24 months, yay. LJB Ruff, 56 months. I believe I'm caught up. Listen, man, Justin Jefferson's a fantastic wide receiver. I refuse to call him a flag merchant. I refuse to call that combo a flag merchant. The Lions locked them the fuck down. And I believe part of that wasn't just Amik Robertson on Jeddah. It was also that the Lions were just blitzing the shit out of Darnold. Excuse me, Jesus. They were blitzing the shit out of Darnold. Darnold was rushing faster than he has ever rushed all year. They had that O-line in hell. They had that entire offense at the front in hell, which means that you couldn't just get it down to JJ that easily. I really hate that it's going to be week 18 and we're going to do this Sam Darnold is a fraud stuff. I don't think that's fair. I know where you guys stand on it, but listen, I don't think it's fair for anyone, regardless of what fan of a team you are, that you have 17 mostly good, like very good games, 17 very good games, and you get your ass kicked on the final game of the season. And now everyone's calling you a pumpkin after midnight. I just don't think that's a fair, I don't think that's a very fair assessment. I really don't. Yeah, as your nasty boy puts, like, come on. Give it to him. He's had like a whole season of great games. Minnesota ownership wondering about that $2 million they spent on tickets. I work weekends at Fox Sports Radio, right? I'm the Lions guy. I got asked at least on 3 different shows this weekend about the tickets the Minnesota Vikings were buying up for fans to go to this game. And it was a lot of cheering about the Minnesota Vikings and what a great organization they are. Did you see those guys at all? Did you guys see the fans at all? I'd love if anyone here was at the game and had hide or tail, because I think a lot of them just sold those tickets back. Yeah. A lot of my Vikings fans mocking the chant. Oh, they hate when you mock the chant. Go to Shady Beef on Twitter. I'll look at that in a little bit. Let's see here. Goff had a bad game too. It happens. Every quarterback has bad games. You cannot find me a quarterback with a perfect season. You just can't. Let me get to some other questions. He did pumpkin tonight. I'll give it that. Jared Mayo was a fraud. I do find it funny right up until the final week of the season, the Patriots are saying up and down, we're going to give Jared Mayo at least 2 seasons. Now, question of whether he should be fired. He made some really nasty, weird decisions. I don't think he handled the pressure well. I think he stripped a captaincy from a player mid-season, which is very unheard of. I'm not sure how he was handling that locker room. But I think more than anything, Gerard Mayo being fired last game of the season after they had been talking up and down. By the way, once again, did the press conference believing he was still the coach. But I believe that is a very clear sign. Yeah, chat's picking up on it. It's a very clear sign that they have been told that Mike Vrabel wants the job. Did he get fired for losing too much or winning too much? That was a nasty win that took them out of the first overall pick, but I don't think he gets fired for that reason. I feel like Vrabel is in the wings, and they got confirmation that Vrabel is in the wings. That's what my gut is telling me. I think that Vrabel is the perfect fit for that job. What do you think about the Steelers? 4 games to end the season. Man, I don't want to do, does anyone trust the Steelers in these playoffs to do anything? Does anyone trust the Steelers? Who are they playing? Because they've dropped the division at this point. Wild card round, they are it's their 3rd game against the Ravens. Here's the thing. I think the Ravens have a lot of problems we're all overlooking because all of their problems are on defense. That is a porous, awful defense in Baltimore. But the Steelers do not have the quarterback to beat the Ravens' defense. I think they can give Baltimore a tough time. I agree. I think going into Baltimore, that's a place they know. I believe the team has... Actually, I believe the Ravens... No, they did split with the Ravens. They did split with the Ravens this year. Still, that's a division opponent for the 3rd time. That's tough. I don't want to pick that game. That said, I cannot trust the Steelers right now to have the horses to beat the Ravens. I just don't. I think KC laid down to Denver so Burrow would not make the playoffs. Now I wonder if Cincinnati fires Zach Taylor or goes there. I don't think they're firing Zach Taylor. First off, that doesn't fit with the Brown ownership. That would mean spending more money than they want. Zach Taylor himself went after Ben Johnson more than a few times for offensive coordinator. Like, those two coached together. Zach Taylor knows what Ben Johnson can do. I don't think Kansas City laid down. Kansas City was only thinking of Kansas City. Kansas City was only thinking of Kansas City, and the Broncos were only thinking about making the playoffs. I don't think this... I hate to do Carly Simon on this. I hate to go Carly Simon, but I'm sorry, Bengals, this song wasn't about you. This song wasn't about you at all. Yeah, you know me, Goofa. You know me, and you know my Carly Simon. This is not... Congrats, Lions fans. Thank you, Clippy. The song was about him. I know. But I think this was about the Chiefs wanted to rest their starters, and the Broncos wanted to make a statement going into the playoffs. I don't think it was about the Bengals at all. Because I just don't think the Chiefs fear anyone. And they certainly don't they don't fear people like the Bengals like that. They just don't. We'd like to say they do, because I think that makes for good debate. But I don't think that this was about the Bengals at all. Does the NFL need to talk about the delay of game buffer time? Holy hell, it was absurd how much of a buffer Minnesota was getting early. It always seems to be a concern in Ford Field, and I'm not sure why. We've talked about this on PODcast before, but we would like to see decimals on the clock, but there won't be. Where does Aaron play next year? Where does Aaron... Oops, sorry. Don't want you to see the mess of my house. Where does Aaron play next year? I'm going to look up his contract real quick just to remind myself of what he has on the line. Because I think it's tough. I think it's really tough. So he gets what? He's got a $14 million option. He's got a $7 million signing. $2.5 million base salary. So here's the thing. I don't think they're going to hire a coach. Rex Ryan interviewed for the job, but I don't think Rex Ryan can get it because he says all kinds of stuff about Aaron Rodgers. I think he's staying in New York. I don't think there's a market for Aaron Rodgers. And ultimately, it would be the Jets being able to trade him. The Jets have done everything for Rodgers, and I don't expect that to change at all. I just don't. If he plays next year, and I believe he will because he likes the money, it will be with the Jets. Raiders, Devontae comes back. McCarthy, you can't. Like the Raiders are really stupid, but they would have to be even more stupid than what Mark Davis is to try to do that, to blow up everything again. And ultimately, at the end of the year, that's just not what the Raiders are about. They like their guys a lot, even though they shouldn't. I'm going to disagree, Liam. He played terrible this year. He played absolutely terrible this year. His influence is a problem, but he played terrible. Zach Wilson played better last year with this same Jets team. His cap hit, yes, his cap hit is $49 million. Or I'm sorry, that's his dead cap. His dead cap is $49 million. His actual cap hit is something like, I think, 23.5. He was not good at all. But I don't think the Jets can do anything about it. I don't think Antonio Pierce is going to be around Lord Goofa. So here's the thing. Usually every year we get 7 openings, correct? We get, 6 openings, I believe, on average every year in the coaching carousel. And we're at what? How many teams right now? Going into Black Monday? Because Mike McCarthy's on a declining contract. Chicago Bears. We're at 4 right now. Okay, so I believe that would be Bears, Saints. Are we counting the Cowboys? I believe we're counting the Cowboys in there. And Patriots. Yes, those are the 4. Oh, Jets. So we're not counting the Cowboys. So yeah, Jets, Patriots, Jets, Patriots, Bears, and Saints. And let's, I don't know what's going to happen with the Cowboys. I mean, McCarthy's contract is dead right now. But I think they bring him back. A lot of people are saying Doug Peterson's getting fired, but it hasn't happened yet, and they've had a lot of chances to fire him. I'm not going to count him out, but I've said this on Fox Sports Radio airwaves too. If you are Ben Johnson, I'm not going to count I don't think the Colts will fire Steichen. I did see that Irsay is giving the vote of confidence there. So I don't think the Colts are going to be on that list. And I don't think the Dolphins are going to be on that list. The Raiders, I believe, are going to be on that list. However, I would count Mark Davis to say that, damn, they are really stupid. And they would very much so probably try to... what team was I talking about again? The Raiders, right. So I did see a quote about Mark Davis being impressed by the 2-game win streak or whatever near the end of the year. Did they win? They win today? They did not win over the Chargers. Okay, that kind of dampens it a little bit. I do think the Antonio Pierce hire has been terribly awful for the Raiders, and it would behoove them to move on. I've seen some talk about Tennessee. Tennessee's interesting. Tennessee now has the number 1 overall pick. So if you want to think about Shedeur Sanders and maybe Dion together. I think if Browns could be on that list, I think they've cleared out enough suspects. Texas Wolverine. I don't think Kevin Stefanski is going to be out on the street. Could the Giants move on from Dable? I think they're going to give Dable one more year. They'll be patient with him. I consider firing Zach Taylor if I'm the Bengals. You can't start that badly every year, then feel better at the end of the year because you put a run together, repair some of the damage. It's not a matter of what he does or doesn't do, Liam. It's a matter of, is Mike Brown now ready to pay another coach? And the answer is no. The Brown family is the stingiest family in professional football. They wouldn't spend money on the seats in the stadiums if they could help it. You think they're going to fire Zach Taylor early? They stuck with Marvin Lewis for a decade. Over a decade. And Marvin Lewis is not Zach Taylor. We won. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Shane. Thank you. Yes, they did fire Ken Dorsey, Lord Goofa. Which, Ken Dorsey was never a great fit with what Stefanski wanted to do to begin with. That felt like the ownership being like, oh, this is really going to work for Deshaun Watson. Look, I love Marvin Lewis. Oh, you guys are talking about Mr. I. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to get some other questions here. Some talk about the Dolphins. I think the question, what was the question from BC the Gray? Were we all fooled by Mike McDaniel with his personality, or is he a real coach? I just don't think the Dolphins are a good team. I don't know how much of that is the coach, how much of that is the fact that this offense just has not worked out. I did see Tyreek Hill is asking for a trade. I have heard the rumblings about Cheetah. I don't know who would want him. But this is what the Dolphins have been, man. Every year they have like 6-7 wins. Would New Orleans fire their GM so they could hire a Detroit duo? That's a good question because what's his name has been there forever. Mickey Loomis has been there just absolutely forever. I don't know who they could pluck from the Lions in that regard. There's probably a couple guys in the front office for that. And I am not sure how much unlike a lot of the problems of the Saints right now, they can keep firing coaches all they want, but the problem is how they have, I think their problems do start with Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis is the one who set up this ridiculous salary cap doesn't matter situation that they've gotten themselves into. Loomis was in the last New Orleans owners' will. He is very well beloved. I don't think he's going anywhere. They even have the cap room to fill 53 players. They'll find a way. They will find a way. They'll find a way. Eventually that cap hit does go away, but damn. They're going to be in the wilderness for a while. You think Ben Johnson and Agnew will be a package deal if Ben leaves? I think the bigger question is going to be what's going to happen with Hank Fraley. Because I know Ben was really looking to take Hank with him last year when he was getting job offers. Oh man, I got to take some more gin, more juice. I put a lot of gin into this, by the way. A lot of gin, a lot of grapefruit, a little bit of pineapple juice, which might be going bad. So that might hurt me. And some lime juice. I've been way overdue to clean out my pantry and do a proper... I put in 170 hours over the last 3 weeks with Fox Sports Radio. I've worked Thanksgiving. I've worked update anchors for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. I've worked a lot as a technical producer. I am down to just... Oh, I haven't even eaten dinner yet. I just realized. I'm probably going to go and swing by Wendy's before they close or something. I just realized why my stomach was being awful, and I realized, oh, right, yeah. Last time I ate was 12:30 Pacific. Saints will have 52 players under contract 2025. Yeah. Would Fraley leave possibly the best line in the league with Penei Sewell? I guess that would depend on what the project is, who he wants to go with. Packers or Vikings fans are counting the Lions fall apart when coaches leave. The foundation is way too stable for that. I think there could be... Listen, it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are. When you lose both your coordinators, there is a stepping back. And let's never forget that the first offensive coordinator for the Lions was not Ben Johnson. It was Anthony Lynn. Now, I think they do have enough culture instilled now, and the players that matter, and the way the players play together, that they'll have the culture in place to continue very well. Will it be schematical? The same schematical? Probably not. Will they be able to get someone like Tanner Engstrand to step into the role? Maybe. There will be adjustments. Ultimately, I think the biggest example is look at what happened with the Eagles. They went to the Super Bowl and they got raided very hard. Next year the Eagles were okay but not great. And I do think, but again, this is the benefit of someone like Dan Campbell. It's going to take you a little bit. But hey man, this is part of being a big boy. Sure. But my point is that nobody survives this very well. Nobody has a blueprint to you lose both coordinators in a single calendar year. You have to be patient. And the good news is Sheila Hamp, the ownership, Brad Holmes, all patient with all of this. Not every year you're going to win 15 wins. I'm just letting Lions fans know that right now because I know how high that bar gets set, man. I know how high that bar gets set, how everyone thinks you can just run it back, and damn, each year the Lions keep getting better and better and better, almost linearly. There's not much room up to keep going up from here. Gibbs watching his record. I'm finding some videos over here. I'm hoping we can stay up to get the locker room celly. But, yeah, gotta go 20-0 next year. That 18th game is coming, too. And boy, it's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. Look at their road schedule next year. We have a gauntlet. I mean, sure, but you never know what teams are going to be next year, ultimately, at the end, too. You don't know what this team's going to be next year. It's a lot of questions, and it's not something we can really answer right now. Oh, God, my head. I've got like a bump on my head, too. Let me find that schedule again just so I can see the expected road games. So road games would be, besides the division, Washington, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Kansas City, Rams. Will the Baltimore Ravens improve their defense next year? Will the Cincinnati Bengals be caught at, once again, a bad time? Will the Commanders continue this very good streak they have right now with a young quarterback, or will he have a sophomore slump like C.J. Stroud did? What exactly will be the state of the Philadelphia Eagles? Because I never know what to expect out of the Eagles any year. Will they really have a second season like this from Saquon Barkley? Because Jalen Hurts hasn't looked great. I think the biggest question of all, is Matthew Stafford playing next year? Are we underplaying how attractive the Detroit OC and DC positions will be on the open market? I mean, it's harder to get that set. It's harder to set a good, I mean, you'd have, I don't, like, that's not something that is easy to resolve. And it doesn't just mean like that there's some wunderkind in the background being like, I want to coach the Detroit Lions. I want to coordinate the Detroit Lions offense. And I think also they'll hire from within for a lot of that. You could be seeing a OC and DC of Tanner Engstrom and Kelvin Shepard next year. Are they great? Are they stepping up to coordinators? Who knows? They've been great so far. But will they turn into great coordinators? That's a big jump. Who are your ideal outside candidates? I mean, I think for defensive coordinator, that's a lot easier than anything. Because Robert Saleh's out there. And I believe I'm blanking on the other defensive coordinator name. I really am. What will the Vikings look like? Eberflus, I know, is the other one. Yeah. What will the Vikings look like next year? What do the Packers do? Will the Bears figure things out? Yeah, I mean, this is always the tough thing. Year to year, man, the league just doesn't stay the same. Both Eberflus and Saleh were fired, and their defenses got demonstrably worse. I think both of them make great coordinators. Man, man. What a weekend for Detroit sports, though. What a weekend for Detroit sports. Pistons got a few wins rolling. Is there another sport in the town that I don't know about? Great weekend for the NFL. Our 5 TVs at work, I believe we had on that Panthers game. We had on the Bucks game. I believe, what was the other early game we had on? We had the Eagles on a TV. We had the Bills on a TV. I don't think we watched Cowboys Commanders. Michigan beat Bama. Very funny developments in the world of the college football playoffs. Very funny developments. Final Four is set in college football. And I'm going to, as impressive as they have looked, I know that Ohio State looks very impressive, but can I say it right now? I think my money's on Notre Dame. I think my money's on Notre Dame of these Final Four remaining. I think the Irish are who I like to win it all. Because if they beat Penn State, I think the defense... Here's the thing. Here's the ultimate thing about Ohio State. Everyone's been wowed by these last 2 games from Ohio State. Ohio State does not... This is how Tennessee and Oregon fell. Ohio State wants to punch you first and then just keep going. They want you in the foot race. How did Oregon the first time resolve that? Punch first. How did Michigan resolve that? Just punch and drag them down into a mud pit. That's what breaks the Ohio State rhythm. Notre Dame has the defensive pieces to do that. They have the defensive pieces to do that, and they want to run you over. It's an old school team, and damn, Georgia and Notre Dame was some old school football-ass football. I think Penn State is a live fight. I don't trust Drew Aller or Alar. I've heard. Here's the thing: everyone gets on me about pronunciation, and I know pronunciation is like a big thing now, where it used to not be with the old school broadcasters who just say whatever they want. But I have not heard a single person say Drew Aller's name same twice. Like, every person I talk to says Aller a different way. Sorry, this is my distraction. Anyway, Aller's not a great quarterback. I don't think Penn State, they got some dogs on defense, but I don't think, I still like Notre Dame. If Notre Dame clears that fight, I think they take on the winner of Texas, Ohio State, and they've got a live one to win it. Which would be this is a hell of a thing that a lot of people are backing. Notre Dame is the feel-good story. Nobody's really hating on Notre Dame the way we used to hate on Notre Dame. I'm sure some people do. But Marcus Freeman helps a lot of things for that team and looking cool. And also a lot of fuck SEC in there, man. When they were playing Georgia. A lot of fuck SEC. And now you're taking on Penn State. Probably a program that should not exist. If we're being completely fucking honest. Penn State should not still be playing football. After what happened at that program. Shouldn't still be playing football. Fuck them. And then on the other end, you've got Ohio State and Texas. I will say this too. I love these backs the Detroit Lions have. If Cam Scattaboo is available on day 3, run the fucking pickup. I know it's a little bit early to talk some draft talk, but damn Cam Skattebo is perfect for 3 teams in the NFL: Lions, Chargers, and Steelers. Tyler Warren is not going to make it out of the top half of the first round. I do believe that. Tyler Warren is not going to be there. He is tight end number 1 on the board. Since we are talking about Notre Dame, and I know he's not playing right now because I believe he's done for the season, Benjamin Morris, corner for Notre Dame. Very interesting pick. I would like to see the Lions go somewhere trenches in the draft. Probably like guard probably a tackle or someone on the D-line or even a linebacker. Benjamin Morrison would be really cool. Chargers is the perfect team for Cam Skattebo. Like, Jim Harbaugh loves a guy like Cam Skattebo. We do need an edge again. Yeah, we do. There's a lot of ways they could go. It's all going to be non-sexy pick areas. Riley Mills, I do know from Notre Dame, did have a quite the injury. But he did leave Notre Dame with in sacks and tackles for loss. I believe he is a interior lineman, though. I could be wrong. I don't remember where exactly Mills plays on that line. Hey, we could have a little bit of this as a treat. We're going on hour 2 of this stream. I'm not getting a lot more questions about this stuff. Edge class is deep. We need more injured players. Look, man, it's going to be tough with how college football is changing. There's a lot of guys who are going to keep going back for more money now. Like, I don't like where this is going to go for the NFL. You're going to see a lot more players keep going back to college football. Which is really, it's not going to hurt you in the first couple rounds for the NFL. But if a kid's told he's got like a 3rd, 4th, 5th round grade now, do you think they're going to come out into the NFL? Or they're going to go back and try to get a few more $1,000s from NIL? That's the toughie. Who do you want to see in round 2 of the playoffs? So, is there specific? Apologies, my brain is not very good sometimes. So is it a specific match, or is it just it's reseeded, correct? I mean, not reseeded, but it's like we get the lowest of the seeds, I believe, remaining. Is it specifically coming from Packers Commanders? So they play the lowest seed. Okay. Sorry, I've never had to deal with a first round bye for a team like this before, right? Let me look at a bracket just real quick to get my head around who all is in. So they'd get the lowest seed remaining. Oh, you post the options? Thank you, John. Thank you. So Rams beat. Okay, let me move this onto a screen somewhere. Thank you, John. Yeah, can I zoom in on this at all? Yes, I can. So these are your four options. Either Rams with some shenanigans. The easiest one, obviously, being the Packers just beating Philadelphia. Yeah, so we just can't play Bucks or Eagles. Well, I definitely don't want to play the Vikings again. That's for fucking sure. I guess we should see what happens with Jordan Love's thumb. But once again, I don't want to play a division opponent a third time. So I guess that narrows it down to Commanders or Rams. I know that people are afraid of the Rams because of the start of this year and because of last year. But I really want people to reckon with how hot cold the Rams are. Because I understand everyone was really wowed when they put 44 points on the Bills. But before that game, they almost lose. They have a one-score game over the Saints. All right? They need a late score, I believe, to beat the Saints. After that, they have a field goal. They have 12-6 against the 49ers. They don't even get into the end zone. 19-9 against the Jets. 13-3 against the Cardinals. That's what they've done since the Bills game. I know that everyone's tired of the Stafford narrative. I know. I am fully aware. I'm fully aware. And I know it's Sean McVay, and everyone gets spooked about Sean McVay. I know. I'm looking, aside from the hat, because I'm covering up my balding hair. I do look very Italian right now. I am aware. Commanders is the answer. Commanders, it's a young team, and I think you can stop them. Jaden Daniels is very cool. I think I'd still rather want to play the Rams. Of those four remaining, I think my answer is Rams. I think we need to evolve beyond the fear of Stafford. Like, they don't... Here's the thing. I don't think they have the options to beat the Lions over the middle. Does Jaden Daniels have any kids to boo? Yeah, the Commanders' defense is not good. It's kind of overperformed its stake. I think here's the thing is that I think how you were able to beat the Vikings tonight, you can't replicate that against the Commanders. That's a lot more that's a lot more stress on your linebackers. That's a lot more stress on over the middle. Jonathan Allen is back for their defense now. Okay, I did not see that. By the way, I know I've been talking a lot about the Buccaneers not having Antoine Winfield Jr. I know he's back at their practice. Terry McLaurin is dangerous. Brian Robinson is very hard to stop on the ground, and they did just get back Austin Eckler as well. Zach Ertz is showing some flash late in this year. I know Jaden Daniels has now got some sort of lingering injury or something. I still think I'd rather play the Rams out of all those opponents. Lions, legends, actors. This is the problem. No, this is exactly what I'm talking about, though, Noah, is all of the fear of the Rams is on a team that the Rams are no longer. I understand the ghosts are right there, and it's scary for a lot of people. I totally understand that. I totally get that. But I'm just saying, put aside the Bills game, look at who they have actually been this second half of the year. As they've gotten healthy, as they've played down the stretch. They've played down to everyone they've played. Now, they've won those games. But the Lions are not only going to put up 9 points against the Rams. They're not only going to put up however many they score, however many the Cardinals scored on them. 9. Again, here's have been the opponent's scoring in their last 3 wins. 9, 9, and 6. You're telling me the Lions are going to be held to 9 or 6 points? And on their other end, they haven't broken 20. You're telling me the Lions aren't going to break 20? I understand the fear of the Rams, but let's be honest of who they are. An uneven team that was desperate to rest starters against the Seahawks and is going to have to play one hell of a firefight against the Minnesota Vikings. And if they advance, they just came out of a hell of a fight against the Vikings. Now, unfortunately, the Rams, for the Lions to play the Rams, it means a lot of upsets. It means Philadelphia has to win, and then Tampa Bay has to defeat Washington. And, of course, the Rams have to beat Minnesota. So we're counting on two home teams to lose and Philadelphia to win. And again, the big problem with Philadelphia right now is we don't know the status of Jalen Hurts. Great point, Texas. Short week for Monday night flying across the country. Are those no upsets? Do we actually have 2 home dogs? Do we actually? I haven't seen the lines out yet. Do we actually have 2 home dogs in Tampa Bay? I believe that sounds about right, actually. Let me look. No, Tampa Bay is a 3.5. Tampa Bay is a 3.5 point favorite. Minnesota is a road favorite -2.5. So yeah, it would be all favorites, actually. But I really... Well, here's what has to happen for the Vikings to play again in the divisional round, Noah. Minnesota have to defeat the Rams, which is possible. Tampa Bay has to defeat Washington. Possible. Philadelphia has to defeat Green Bay. So all of the favorites have to win. It will be Eagles, Bucks, and Lions, Rams if all home teams win. If that's the case, then yeah, then if all home teams win RGA, then the Lions would face the Rams. And it would be Eagles, Bucks. I understand wanting to play Green Bay, but also I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with a divisional opponent a third time. I don't want to deal with a divisional opponent a third time. I just don't. That's rolling the dice too many times. Now, I think of the 2 divisional opponents, I would much rather, of course, see the Packers than see the Vikings a third time. I don't think that's contested by anyone. Bucks beat Philly already this year. That is a great point. Bucks also beat the Lions this year. The Bucks are a hard team to figure out. It looked like for about 3 quarters, the Saints had figured out that all the Bucks could do on offense was throw screen passes. And the Bucks just pulled away. Did Green Bay lose Watson? I don't know if it's officially that they lost Watson, but I don't think it looked good. Jordan Love, I know, also had an injury in this game too, but he should be all right? Question mark. I don't think the Watson injury was great. Watson has a knee injury, and they said they don't think he's going to play. Okay. So that takes away a weapon from Jordan Love. I'm sorry. I just don't fear Malik Willis. I'm sorry to Ryan. I don't see what you see in him, brother. I just don't. So if I was going to rank all these teams then, and I know I'm nearing the end of this because it's almost 11 here and I really need to eat some food for myself too. I told myself I'd do better on food, but I'm absolutely going to hit a Wendy's run after this just to eat something. I would say the team I want to play the most is probably the Packers. After that, and very close, is the Rams. Then the Commanders, and then Vikings last. I'm just talking about the divisional round. I don't care. Like, you can't play the Bucs, you can't play the Eagles. I'm taking those two off the board right now. What's the Wendy's order? I don't know. Depends how spicy I'm feeling. Either going to be 1 or 2 chicken BLTs. Probably 1, and see if I've got a coupon for some free nuggets or something. I don't want to go too heavy, man. Someone convinced me the other day to pick up a piece of pizza plus a. Oh, great! Here we go. $1 crispy chicken BLT with a qualifying purchase. I know what I'm ordering. Cheap. I just got to make sure they're actually going to be open past 11 o'clock here on the on a Sunday. But they should be all right. I'll have to go pretty soon if I want to get my order in though. Put whoever in front of us. We have beaten so many teams. I think that's the right mentality to take though. At the end of the day. Like, this Lions team, again, stack up anyone against them. Like, people have started talking up the Eagles. But, yeah. What do I want to play for chat? What am I playing for chat? What are we doing for chat? Send it. We will soon. I just, oh God, I'm sorry. I'm itching all over my face now too. This is what happens when I get tired. Oh, video of Terry and Arnold dancing tonight. Look, I can like grab that real quick, and that can be the final thing we do. Let me find that video. I know there's a lot of videos out there. Oh, is this the Locker Selly? Did I miss this, or is this just? Oh, we got to take. Can I even log into TikTok? Yes, I can. Hold on. God damn, I hate these little puzzles. So I've got a couple of vids to play then. Okay, because I've got this and I've got something off Twitter. So let's do this. Let's do this. We'll play these, and then I will go and grab my order because I am starving.
Because your theories catch fire. I can't find your silver lining. I don't mean to judge, but when you read your speech, it's firing. Enough is enough. I'm covering my ears like a king.
Nice. I like it. Where was the other video? Oh, right, this one. Yeah.
hat and t-shirt. Give me my hat.
I wouldn't. I know you're saying relatively positive, injury-wise, but I'm going to presume this was taken before the game. Oh no, wait, they got the shirts. I don't know. We'll see. As I said, don't play doctor. Let's just wait till tomorrow. Yep. Yeah, the Lions very quietly went back to being Super Bowl favorites again. All right, sorry, I'm kind of getting twisted up a little bit. Sorry, last thing. I actually like this from Neil. Lack of trick plays this game is really jarring. I think it's to ask him. Oh, God, come on. You're just shit posting then. Okay. I think this is what Lions look like when they are in they're in business mode, dealing with a defense like that. And look, man, there was a lot of swing passes and screen plays. They were blowing up in this game. Man. Anyway, I'm going to go get some food. I want you guys to have a great night. Celebrate safely. It's late. I know it's like, God, it's almost 2 a.m. on the East Coast. Thank you guys all for staying up with me for the post-game streams. We love it. And we'll see you tomorrow for PODcast.